fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today with my April goals update. So if you're new to the channel, welcome, and if you haven't seen my 2022 goals, I will stick a link up there. Go check them out. Some of this may not make sense unless you've watched that first. Okay, so just a little bit of an explanation, and then I'm going to jump into the goals. As usual, I need something for you guys to watch, and I thought it would just be boring to watch my hands. So I'm going to be working on this diamond painting while I talk to you about all of my goals and how I'm doing and what's my progress and all of that good stuff. So this is my Flamingos by Huacan. I did the unboxing and I've also done the kitting up. So if you haven't checked those out, well, I will link the kitting up there. And so I've got my drills kitted up. I've got my canvas ready to go. I've got my, I think this is a NYX's Notions tray and one of my fancy French pens. And I'm ready to go. I've got my notes all done. I've counted up my numbers. I've taken care of everything, I hope. So I'm going to zoom you guys in so you can see what I'm doing while I'm talking. And let me take a quick sip of my hot tea. Okay, so my first goal for, let me pick a color here before I get distracted because this is literally going to be the first drills I'm laying down on this kit. So let me, okay, make sure I know what symbol that is. Okay, so my first goal is my 1,500 hour goal. My overall goal is to make it to 1,500 hours for the year. My overall goal is 10,000 hours because at that point I'll be an expert, right? I think. I'm going to say I am anyway. If I spent 10,000 hours diamond painting, I should know some stuff about diamond painting by then, right? So, I was behind on my goal because I didn't do very much. Well, I just didn't get a lot done in February. I don't know why, I just didn't. So in March, because I finished a pretty big canvas, I actually got a decent number of hours in. So for March, my number of hours is 105 hours and 46 minutes. And the biggest chunk of that is due to my Vibrant Italy kit, which if you haven't seen the kitting up of that, I will stick a link up in the corner to that so you can check it out. So I got more hours in than I got in February, which is good. I still didn't make as many as I wanted, but that's okay. So that puts me for 2022 so far at 203 hours and 11 minutes. So you can see how behind I am because 105 of that 203 was just this month. So yeah, I need to get crack-a-lackin'. Okay, so that's my hours goal. Then the next thing that I want to work on for this year is my Big 10. And my Big 10 goal is that I want to have done canvases from what I'm calling 10 premier diamond painting companies. And by that, I mean, I'm calling them premier. Maybe somebody else wouldn't, but I'm calling them premier. So there's that. And I am still sitting at 3, which is where I was sitting in February because I've done a Treasure Studios art. I've done a Diamond Art Club. I have a Dreamer Designs open and it is in progress. However, I had to kind of put it on pause because I was doing the Vibrant Italy for the Chuck Along. And because that one took me basically until the very last minute of March, I haven't made it any further on my Dreamer Designs. Okay, so that still leaves me Diamond Painting Deutschland, Distracted by Diamonds, DIY Moon, Craftably, my Heaven and Earth Designs, and then Crafties, and then I still haven't decided what the other one is going to be. I think I said in another video it was going to be Heaven and Earth Designs, but that was already one of them, so I still need to figure out what that 10th one is going to be. I'm leaning towards Oraloa. So if you guys think of, there's a different one that you would call, that's not already in the Big 10, that you would call a premier company, let me know. I mean, I see new ones all the time that I've not heard of before. So yeah, just share if there's one that you would consider kind of a premier, like, you know, on par with Diamond Art Club, Dreamer Designs, and let me know, you know, what you think. I still need to order a canvas from Crafties, and then whatever I decide the 10th one is going to be, I'll have to order from that, but that's okay. And then, okay, so that's it for my Big 10. I've got to figure out what the 10th company is so that I can order one, and I need to get busy on my Dreamer Designs so that I can order the next one. I need to pick out a Crafties and order it, and whatever the 10th one is going to be. Okay. Third goal is events. And I am now at 2 events. I did the Alice in a Winter Wonderland, which is where I completed Alice in the Sea of Tears. So that canvas is done. Stick to the canvas, thank you. And then I had planned to do the Chuck Along, which I did, and I finished in time. So I'm happy, because it was close. I didn't know if I was going to finish. And actually, the very last day, the 31st, I put in almost 8 hours of diamond painting time to get it finished. But I made it by the deadline. So I made that goal. And I did not have to stay up until midnight to finish it, which was something I was actually afraid of. Because that last week, I just didn't work on it like I should have, and time got away from me, and yeah, so it's done, and it's all good now. So I will be doing the D-kit and showing you the finish of that one. It turned out amazing. I'm so happy with it. And I'm super happy, one, I've now done a Chuck Pinson, so I can check mark that off my I'm a real diamond painter list, right? Because you have to do a Chuck Pinson to be a real diamond painter. I don't know who made up that rule, but I'm sure it is one. So there's that. And in the process, I got 2 diamond painting kits out of my stash because I did Vibrant Italy myself. And then my other Chuck Pinson that I have or had, I knew I probably wouldn't ever do it and it would just languish in there. It was one that I bought because I wanted to do a Chuck Pinson, but it wasn't one that I was in love with. And after doing Vibrant Italy, I just, decided I'm going to let somebody else get the enjoyment out of doing this one. So I've mailed it to someone, and I hope they enjoyed it. So Debbie, if you happen to be watching, I hope you enjoyed it. If you've done it, if you haven't done it yet, I hope you're looking forward to doing it. And yeah, so that got 2 out of my stash. Not that that helped very much, but okay. So I'm sitting at 2 events. I'm still planning to do Drills and Chills in October. And of course, I'm planning my own 2 events that I'm going to be hosting, one in June, which is DP for pets, and one in November, which is DP for vets. So more details will be coming along. Haven't quite decided how I'm going to do all of this. I'm struggling a little bit with my social media, guys, so I will come back to that, but I have questions. So I'm hoping you guys can help me out. So anyway, so I'm sitting at 2 events. So I will more than make my 3 goal plus my 2 hosting. So that goal is on track. My 4th goal is the number of finishes. And I wanted to have 50 finishes for 2022. I managed, I think, 60 finishes in 2021. So hopefully that is a doable goal for me. I am trying to complete some bigger canvases, which is why I lowered it a bit. So we'll see. I definitely need to spend more time diamond painting than I have been. And yeah, I may be joining some more events because doing that helps me kind of stay on track and gives me kind of that deadline so that I know, hey, I haven't diamond painted enough, because that'll add into my hours too. So we'll see what else I end up doing. But for finishes for March, I had 3. I finished, of course, Vibrant Italy, which took up the majority of my time. I finished my hot air balloon one, and I finished a partial one, which was the pink peacock. And I unboxed it on my channel. I didn't kit it up. I very rarely actually kit up partials. I just open bags of drills and go for it because there usually isn't enough drills to bother with a formal kind of kitting up and whatnot. And that one honestly only took me a couple of hours to do, and I did it simply because I wanted something I could finish because I was working on such big canvases. I wanted something that I could say, okay, finish this one. So 3 for March, and that brings me to a total so far for 2022 of 13, which is not probably where I need to be for 50 finishes, but it's better than where I was. At least I finished 3 things, even if it was only 3. One of them was a very large canvas. Vibrant Italy was like 93 by 70 or something like that, so it's a big sucker. So yeah, okay. So 13 finishes. The next goal is 15 new to me companies. I am sitting at 5. And I think that's where I was last month because I haven't ordered anything from any new to me companies recently. So this is a new to me company, Huacan. My Tin Me Arts was new. I ordered a canvas from Enabler's Outpost, which you will be seeing at some point. I ordered drills from the Jaded Gem Shop for my Pegasus Heaven and Earth designs. So when I get those, we'll be diving into that. And my diamond painting shop. So still sitting at 5. I have a couple of diamond painting companies that I'm looking at to see whether or not I want to buy something from them, but we'll see. Okay, so that's new to me companies, still sitting at 5. The goal is 15, so I'm more than on track for that. And then the last one is kind of the big one, which is my budget. So a little bit of background on the budget. I spent way too much money last year. So if you haven't checked that out, I will stick a link up there. You can go check out that budget. I basically could have bought myself a decent car, used car, with what I spent. Maybe it'd be a beater car, but whatever. Anyway, I spent too much money. Now, that was a bad thing because I was feeling bad that I spent too much money. It ended up being a good thing because of taxes. Now, when I started this channel, this was just going to kind of be a hobby for me. However, I do make a bit of an income from it. Nothing to write home about, but I do make a bit of an income. And unbeknownst to my husband and I, we ended up losing my oldest as a deduction this year because she apparently aged out. Now, I didn't know that was a thing. I thought, she lived with us and whatever, then we got to count her. Not so. She hit the age limit, so we couldn't claim her as a dependent, which meant we still got a refund on our federal income taxes, but we ended up owing almost as much as our refund to the state, which is annoying to say the least, because I was kind of planning on doing something with some of that tax refund that I now don't get to do. So, in talking with my accountant person who does my taxes, because I did make a little bit of income just for a couple of months from the channel last year, I could include business expenses. And in doing so, luckily for me, all of the money that I kind of wasted on the stuff that I bought, which I didn't waste it, I don't mean it that way, but the stuff that I purchased, we were able to take off on my taxes, which means that we get a little bit back more in federal and we owe a little bit less in state. Still way more than I want to for state to owe them, and enough that I'm afraid they're going to come tell me that I have to make quarterly payments to them, which I do not want to do. So we'll wait and see what happens. I'm still waiting to hear on my federal taxes. Because scary thing is that because it's my first year of having the business and because it was a loss, because duh, I mean, what business makes money in their first year? That means that you run a higher risk of getting audited, which I actually spent more money than I claimed. So, but yeah, it's a scary thing to think that you might be the subject of an IRS audit. Not because I did anything wrong, but just because that sounds scary. So cross your fingers for me that that does not happen and everything is just goes through hunky-dory. Okay, so that's background of the budget. So something else that I did was originally I ordered 3 canvases from Craftably in December of 2021. I put them in my 2022 budget for 2 reasons. One, because I'm not actually going to get the items until 2022, and I don't know when that's going to be. At the time when I ordered them in December, they were telling you that it would be March. Well, I'm still waiting, and I'm going to guess it's now at this point going to be something more like June before I get them. So we'll see what happens there. But anyway, in the course of like actually setting up my business books and doing all that kind of stuff, because it was an expense in 2021, that's actually where that expense goes. So those expenses have been moved to my 2021 budget, which means I get to add in that money, which was $189.97, goes back in my 2022 budget. Now, I will say I only gave myself $1,200 as a budget for this year. I figured $100 a month was more than sufficient. It's not going to be, but that's what I gave myself. So I added back in the $189.97, and then for the Craftablies. And then in March was a big month, guys. I didn't buy anything in February, or I mean in January. I bought a few things in February, but not very much. And I spent $415.55 in March, which I'm not thrilled about, but let me explain. So of that $415.55, $14.99 of it is for a portfolio. It is one of those like kind of 11 by 17, 12 by 17 portfolios. I have one and it's only about half full, but because I was putting special drills projects in it, rather than just squares and rounds, the pages don't lay very flat because some of those special drills are quite tall. So I bought another one of those because I think I'm going to kind of divide out my specials or something. I haven't quite decided, but I'm going to change the way I do it a little bit so it's not quite so big and bulky. Maybe I was just going to divide it up into 2021 and 2022 finishes, but I already have a special finish for 2022 and I want to keep it separate, I think. So I may just divide it up into one portfolio for specials, one for squares and rounds, and that way it'll be a little bit flatter, and then I'll just have 2021 in both and 2022 in both. So that was $14.99. I bought myself 2 diamond painting pens off of Amazon for a total of $13.90. And one of those may be a giveaway as part of a giveaway or a prize or something. So we'll see. And then I spent $135 on drills, which would be the drills for my Heaven and Earth Pegasus, which they're square resin drills, so I'm more than happy to spend that for them. I'm assuming they're going to be really good quality, although I don't know that yet. I haven't received them, so we'll see when I get them. And then $32.54 was for storage, because you guys, I've been looking at storage and all the ones that I like and everything, and I saw another YouTuber who was, well, actually, I think I saw it was a picture on Instagram, and they were like, here's all my kitted up projects, because they're one of those crazy people that has like 15 projects on the go at once. I can't do that. But what I saw was they had like 6 of the Elizabeth Ward trays. And so I was like, you know what? I really want another one of those, because because I love them, and I just like the way they work. I love the modularity of them. They're one of my favorites. And I hadn't bought one when I initially was going to get one, because remember a while ago everyone was like, oh, they're going out of business, you're not going to be able to get them, you better get them now. So you couldn't find them anywhere. And so I just kind of waited, and then I saw that they were back in stock, and so I was like, you know what, I'm going to get one because I want a second one. I actually may buy a third, not a third set, but a third tray, because I have extras of all of the sizes of the Elizabeth Ward containers. And so if I probably have enough to fill up a third tray. I'm going to test that theory out and see. And if I do, then I can just spend, like, I think it was $15 to buy another tray. And then I would have 3 of them, which would be amazing, because I love them, especially for doing my Diamond Art Club. So $32.54 for that. And then the remainder of that, which is $219.12, was for kits. And that is the 5 kits from Diamond Art Club that I just couldn't resist. They had a sale, and then there was a new release that I just could not resist, and so I caved and I bought them. So not proud of how much I spent, because for $15.55 for March, that means for my $1,200 budget for the year, I'm only in April, and I only have $528.54 left. Now, I made that goal knowing that I probably would go over, but I want to try and stick to it. So we'll see how I do. You know, I knew when I made the goal that I probably wouldn't make it, but I'm going to try. And my son's already making fun of me. My 5th diamond painting from Diamond Art Club got delivered, and he's looking at me going, you bought another one? And I said, yeah. And he's like, how many do you have? Because he had seen me filming my stash video, which, if you haven't checked that out, go check that out. I'll stick a link up there. My latest stash video. And we were talking about how many I had, and he's like, why do you keep buying them when you don't have all the ones that you have done? And I'm like, but you don't understand. It's all a clever marketing ploy to make me think I can never get it again, and so I have to buy it right now. So, which, no, I just couldn't pass up some of the prices on the sale ones. I mean, I got a Josephine wall for $50. So I can't complain about that. And I got a one that, the one I actually wanted, the reason I got sucked into the sale was because it's one that I know that my daughter will love. So I actually got that one for her. And then when I got in there, I was like, well, if I'm going to buy I'm justifying, I'm going to buy it on sale. I might as well get a couple other ones. And so I did. And although I did spend some points to get my new release with free shipping. So, it all evens out, I guess. Anyway, so that's where I'm at on my budget. And again, stick around till the end and I will do kind of a scroll so that you can just check this out. The last thing I want to talk about is not really one of my goals per se for 2022, but it is something I'm kind of keeping track of, and that is my random acts of kindness. If you haven't signed up for one of those, check out the description box below. There is always a link to my random acts of kindness. There's a Google form that you fill out. Please make sure that you put in your complete address. I need, if you're in the States, city, state, zip, and as well as your street address. And if you are outside the US, please put everything pertinent in there, because I simply copy down what you give me. If there isn't at least some sort of postal code, then I assume I don't have all the information and I can't send something to you. So I'm slowly working my way through. I have sent out 48 random acts of kindness so far this year. So if you signed up for one and you haven't gotten it yet, don't despair. I'm working my way through the list. I am still sending them out, especially if you live in the U.S. and you live in Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, North Dakota, Nebraska, Oklahoma, or D.C. And if you live internationally, gosh, pretty much anywhere. I've done Australia and the UK. I've done Ireland. I've done Germany, France, Sweden, Norway. But just because I've sent to those countries, don't think that means that you can't get a random act of kindness. You can. I do ask that if you've already gotten one that you not sign up again, because I do want to, do a random act of kindness for as many people as possible. So I sent 16 out in March. I've got 48 sent so far. I'm still filling out my maps. If you would like to help with the random acts of kindness, because postage is expensive, feel free to buy me coffee on Ko-fi. The link for that is always down below. There is also a link for my PayPal if you'd rather just do it that way. Anything and everything is appreciated, not expected, but appreciated, because that lets me send, some of this off. Now, I will say, stay tuned on the channel. I'm going to be showing off some more goodies. And thank you to everybody who has subscribed. Really, a huge thank you to everyone who has subscribed. If you like what I'm doing here on the channel, please share me with all of your friends and ask them to subscribe as well. I am over 2,000 subscribers, so I am beyond ecstatic. Never expected to get to that number as quickly as I have. And because of that, I will be doing a giveaway. Haven't decided what kind of giveaway yet or what I'm going to be doing, but I will be doing one. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Okay, I'm going to zoom back out here a little bit. So I made a little bit of progress on this, so I'm happy with that. And again, I will do a little running screen here while I'm talking to recap all the goals. I've got my March hours, 105 hours, 46 minutes. That puts me at 203 hours, 11 minutes for this year. My Big 10, I'm still at 3. My events, I'm sitting at 2. My finishes, I'm sitting at 3 for March, which brings me to a total of 13. My new to me companies, I'm still sitting at 5. So if you have anything to recommend as a company that I maybe have not tried, or a new one that you've come across, I've seen a couple of new ones with licensed artwork hitting Instagram. So if you know of any of those, send me a DM on Instagram. Leave a comment in the box below, whatever. My budget, I have $528.54 left. I spent $415.55 in March. March was definitely a big buy month, so I'm going to have to rein myself in for a couple of months. And then not necessarily a goal, but my random acts of kindness. So there are all my goals and my updates for 2022. Thanks for hanging around through all of this, guys. I hope this was entertaining. If you're keeping up on your goals or you're following along with me, please let me know. Leave a comment in the below this video. I would love to know what your goals are and where you are at with them, uh, just to kind of keep ourselves all accountable. So that's it for me, guys. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. See you next time, guys.